All we ask is embrace DaVizion.
Merry Christmas, DaVizion gang. You already know what it is, and if you didn't know, you better find out. This is your boy DaVizion, and we got another one even on the holidays, y'all. I am not stopping. These daily uploads will always keep coming as long as I am physically able to do it. I'm gonna do it, y'all. So this time we got 10 of the craziest one-punch knockouts in MMA, and I'm sure this video is gonna be crazy, so I saved it for today, y'all. I hope you guys enjoy some carnage, some action, some knockout beauty, y'all. And again, like I say in like every video, you guys subscribe to the channel if you're feeling it. If you're really feeling it, hit the notification bell, y'all, and always smash that like button on the videos, y'all. And we're gonna jump right into this video right now. Let's get it.
Out of all the ways to end a fight, few are as thrilling as a knockout. And perhaps the most satisfying type of knockout is a one-punch KO.
Hell yeah.
Now, admittedly, there's some debate as to what constitutes a one-punch knockout.
Right.
However, for this video, we'll be taking a look at finishes where one shot
Really,
caused the
one
fighter
punch,
to go
no
out,
follow
even
through,
if
no
the
extra
follow-up
punches.
strikes were landed after
Oh,
the
okay.
Now, without
Well,
further ado,
I guess they already on the ground and the fighter just jumps on them. They might have already been knocked out, so it makes sense.
History.
Okay.
Number 10, Anthony Pettis versus Stephen Thompson. Kicking things off is one of the most unlikely knockouts on our list. If you know anything about Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, you'll know that he is without question one of the greatest strikers in UFC history.
Okay.
Now, to his credit, the same could also be said about his 2019 opponent, Anthony Pettis. But when they met inside the cage, it was pretty clear who the more seasoned striker was. Thompson was having his way with Pettis for the majority of the bout, using his pinpoint accuracy to control the pace of the fight. But then, out of nowhere, Showtime managed to produce one of the most iconic moments of his career,
him
leaping
clean
forward with a well-timed Superman
had his
punch,
mouth
catching
busted,
Thompson
everything.
right on the
Like,
chin.
damn. Oh my God! All it takes is one punch, y'all.
Before anyone
One
knew
damn
what
punch
happened,
is over
Wonderboy
with.
was out cold, and Anthony Pettis had picked up a remarkable
Wow,
comeback victory.
dope.
A massive win for his already great legacy. Number 9, Sean O'Malley versus Eddie Wineland. As one of the fastest growing stars in MMA today, Sugar Sean O'Malley has earned a
Sugar
reputation
Sean,
as an
y'all.
exciting knockout artist. Of his 15 wins, 11 of those have come by either KO or TKO, giving him a 73% knockout rate. Of course, one of his most impressive finishes came in June of 2020, when he faced off against Eddie Wineland at UFC 250. During the opening minutes of round 1, O'Malley landed a beautiful straight right hand that caught his opponent on the chin.
Oh no!
The shot immediately put Eddie Wineland to sleep and was named one of the best knockouts of the year. As far as spectacular finishes go, they don't come much better than this. Number 8, Rich Franklin versus Nate Quarry. On the long list of one-punch KOs that really stiffen their target, Rich Franklin's stunning knockout
it's a
of Nate
stiffy.
Quarry is easily one of the best.
Pause.
Franklin is definitely one of the most underrated fighters of his era, and during his title bout with Nate Quarry, it was clear that he had the technical advantage. Once he figured out his opponent's timing, he slid in with a picture-perfect left hook.
Oh
landing
no!
right
His
on
arms
the
just.
chin.
Again on the bike. Wow.
And the way that Nate
Ooh,
hit the
that's
floor
dirty.
just made this one all the more special.
Sheesh.
Rich Franklin was never really known for putting people to sleep, but this finish was truly a sight to behold. Number 7,
Okay.
Anthony Johnson versus Glover Teixeira.
Oh, I
Anthony
think this
Rumble
was
Johnson
shown
is
like
arguably
the last
second
video I
hardest
watched.
fighter in UFC history, right behind Francis Ngannou.
Shit.
Watching him go from an oversized welterweight to a powerhouse at light heavyweight was a pretty surreal experience. Sadly, Johnson never managed to win UFC gold, and persistent issues with making weight have somewhat detracted from his legacy. But in his best moments, he was an incredible fighter to watch, and no one had the
Anthony
misfortune of
Johnson.
understanding that
How
better
good-
than the future champion Glover.
How good was Anthony Johnson? Like, they just said he had the second strongest punch force in UFC history. In the last video I was watching, he had some low IQ moments in the fight against Cormier where he tried to wrestle Cormier instead of striking him where he had the advantage. So let me know down below what y'all think about Anthony Johnson. That's definitely a name that's come up in the last few videos and it sparked some interest in me. So let me know what y'all think down below.
Teixeira. During their UFC 202 matchup, the fight barely had a chance to get going before Rumble landed a massive uppercut
shit.
that put Glover to sleep.
Glover put pressure on him right away. Interesting.
It's a hard
13
punch.
seconds was all it took, and at the time, many thought that this signified the end of Glover Teixeira's time at the top of the sport. Sure, he eventually proved the doubters wrong, but his loss to Johnson was definitely one for the highlight reels. Number 6. Cody Garbrandt versus Rafael Assunção. He might leave a lot to be desired in the fight IQ department, but on his best days, Cody Garbrandt has shown himself to be a killer in the cage. And few fighters have experienced that quite like Rafael Assunção, who took on Cody Garbrandt in June of 2020. Sure, he later proved himself to be just as wild as ever, but in this fight, Garbrandt looked extremely on point. And in the closing seconds of a dominant round 2, Cody landed a massive right hook that immediately put his opponent
right on the
hold.
chin. Right on the fucking chin. It doesn't get no better than
The
that.
exact time it landed is recorded at 4 minutes and 59 seconds, beating the bell by a fraction of a second. A fantastic return to form for a struggling fighter who still has the potential to produce exciting moments like this. Number 5. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. Kamaru Usman
must have knocked him out.
for him heading into UFC 261, wanting to convince the masses of his growing talent. And after beating Jorge Masvidal the first time around with a somewhat lackluster decision, Usman felt like he had something to prove heading into their second meeting. But with a full camp of preparation under his belt, Usman was ready to shock the world and show his improved striking. After an opening round that saw Gamebred look pretty decent in some spots, Kamaru Usman turned up the heat in the second, landing a massive right hand that knocked Masvidal completely out cold.
Slap him. Sheesh.
And sure, the Nigerian Nightmare may have connected with a few follow-up shots, but it was clear that Masvidal was out well before those landed. Number 4, Rashad Evans versus Chuck Liddell. By the time Chuck Liddell took on Rashad Evans in a title eliminator bout, it was obvious that the Iceman was not the same fighter he once was, especially when compared to his reign as champion. But when he faced off against the rising prospect in 2008, he suffered one of the most brutal knockout losses of his career. During the second round, Rashad Evans allowed Liddell to pressure him up against the cage, and when the Iceman attempted to catch him with an uppercut, returning fire with an overhand that sent Liddell to the mat.
Oh, bam! Out cold.
This one wasn't easy to watch if you were a fan of this Octagon legend, but we still have to give Rashad his dues, and this was one mean-looking finish. Number 3, Dan Henderson versus Michael Bisping. A fierce rivalry can do a lot to a fighter's desire to achieve victory, and for Dan Henderson, listening to Michael Bisping's constant verbal jabs during an entire season of The Ultimate Fighter was enough to leave him determined to put a beating on the count. The two squared off at UFC 100, and this record-setting event proved to be the perfect stage for this one-hitter quitter, or at least it would have been a one-hitter quitter if Hendo didn't decide to follow up his massive H-bomb with a flying forearm to Bisping's face.
Fuck.
Of course, during the post-fight interview, Henderson admitted that the second shot was more for his own revenge than anything else. To date, it is one of the most famous knockouts in UFC history, and a testament to Henderson's incredible power. Number 2, Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo.
Oh, yeah. Conor slept dude so fast.
But just 8 UFC events before Rumble Johnson would flatline Glover Teixeira, we played witness to perhaps the most shocking title victory in UFC history. Sure, Conor McGregor was given a pretty solid chance at dethroning the longtime featherweight king Jose Aldo, but to go out there and land a perfect counter in the opening seconds, and against someone who hadn't lost in nearly a decade, that's quite a remarkable achievement.
Conor, relax.
Oh, man.
He slapped him!
The punch landed at around the 10 or 11 second mark, and by the time the referee had realized what had happened, Conor McGregor had landed a few hammer fists for good measure. A star-making moment for someone who was already the biggest attraction in the sport.
Aldo, bro. That was crazy.
Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem. And finally, we come to the one-punch knockout that stands at the top of this list. Francis Ngannou is probably the most powerful man walking the planet today. And though we were all aware of his potential during his early UFC run, it was his showdown against Overeem that really set the hype train in motion. Overeem was expected to serve as a fitting challenge, a veteran striker whose offensive skills would likely expose some chinks in Ngannou's armor. Of course, when the two squared off, the Reem had absolutely nothing for Ngannou, and after a wild exchange, Francis fired off the most perfect uppercut you'll ever see.
Oh, he almost knocked his head off.
Then following up with a huge shot from the top.
To try to get a matchup with Bam! Came back with the sleeper hammer fist on him.
And made all of us question how anyone in the division could ever stand up to that type of power. Sure, Stipe Miocic would find a way to work around that at UFC 220, but as Francis improved, that window of opportunity began to close at a rapid pace. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Apart from that, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Alright, y'all, so those was 10 crazy knockout punches. I done seen a few of them at this point now, but it's cool to see them all in a order. What do you guys think about that order of these knockouts? Are there any knockouts in this list that didn't belong in there? And if some of them didn't belong, which ones would you add in place of this so I can go check those knockouts out? I don't know if there's anything that needed to be taken out or added in, but from what I saw, these knockouts were all super crazy. So yeah, it satisfied me 100% to see some of these crazy knockouts, y'all. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos, y'all, for real. If you're really enjoying the videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and smash the like button, y'all. Again, Merry Christmas Eve. Enjoy your time with your families. Make sure you guys be safe. Always give it your all, and I'll see you next time. Peace.